Hello, Leon here from Nintendo Players UK, and welcome to episode 7 of the NPUK Podcast. As I'm sure
17.
Yes, 17 episodes, nearly at 20. As I'm sure you're all aware, the June Nintendo Direct only aired a week ago, at the time of recording. So I am joined by Andrew, Ben, and Rain to discuss our thoughts on the presentation. Before we begin... Hello. Before we begin, let's introduce our guests, starting with Andrew. So, Andrew, tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm Andrew. I run Nintendo South End, and yes, just come up to our 10th anniversary, and yes, we had a meet last weekend, and everyone's pleased with the Direct, and yeah, we'll discuss later.
Fantastic. And Ben, once again, introduce yourself.
So I am Ben. I co-run Nintendo Derby with a few other people. We took over from Rob a few years ago. I think we're probably one of the smaller NPUK groups, but we plod along. There's a few of us.
Fantastic. And last but definitely not least is Rain, who is also from our writing crew. So feel free to introduce yourself as well, Rain.
Hi, my name is Rain, and I'm from Nintendo North Wales. I was recruited about a year ago into the writing board of NPUK from Jen. I've done about 4 articles so far right now, and I have 2 more on the way. This is the first time I've ever gone on a podcast episode, so I'm quite excited to see how this unfolds.
Fantastic. Well, we are glad to have you all on board with us today. So, the Nintendo Direct was pretty packed full of announcements. It would take us way too long to take a fine comb through every single game. So, for now, we are going to talk about the main headliners, followed by some of our own highlights from the Direct. So, to kick things off is Mario and Luigi Brothership. So we've had 2 fantastic remakes of Mario-based RPGs, those being Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. So it's fantastic that we finally have a brand new game of the genre. So how did everyone react to the Direct leading with that announcement?
It's good to start off with it. Yeah, a distinctive art style straight away.
Yeah, I concur. When I first watched the trailer, I thought it was a lot more animative, if you want to call it that. It was a lot more animative compared to so many other Super Mario trailers I've seen in the Direct.
I've sort of got a vibe. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. So I've always been a massive fan of the Mario and Luigi games. I think they're my favourite of the RPGs. And seeing Super Mario RPG and Thousand Year Door get remakes recently, I was kind of hoping we might see like another remake for Mario and Luigi, but new game, even better. And yeah, all the animations, as Rain said, they look really, really good, very expressive.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that because when I was little, I remember seeing the constant adverts for Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, and I really wanted a remake.
Oh, I love Bowser's Inside Story. I think that might be my favourite Mario game.
Yeah.
I think myself, I've only played one Mario and Luigi game properly, and that was Dream Team Bros. I really enjoyed it, and there's a... Is there a... I sound ridiculous saying this, I should know this, but is there a Mario and Luigi game on the Nintendo Switch Online apps?
Yeah, I think Superstar Saga, the first
Superstar Saga. So yeah, I definitely need to try and play that. But carrying on from what you're saying, how it looked more animated, I feel there's sort of been a shift with Super Mario Wonder being a starting point where I don't know, there's just this difference to the whole aesthetic in Mario games. One thing I do want to note is I love the sort of purple gradient on the back of Mario's cap. I just thought that's just a nice little aesthetic there, personally.
Yeah, a little sign of a little bit of change.
I will say something I noticed in the trailer. I feel I can't remember what the name is of the new voice actor for Mario, but I feel like he's really stepping into his own after Martinet's departure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he's been doing a really good job. Honestly, like he sounds exactly how you'd expect Mario to sound, but not
Yeah,
exactly the same. Like it's his own take, but it's still very Mario.
it's a new generation. We're too old for this one.
Absolutely. Right, following on, let's talk briefly about Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. So we already knew this one was coming, and it's coming fairly soon as well, only in a couple weeks. But it's nice to see some of the features that will be included, and honestly, the survival mode looks pretty cool. But I feel it's a bit of a shame that, as far as we can tell, this uses ghost data only rather than being live data. What did everyone think?
I'm already hyped for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. When it comes to playing video games, I tend to drift more towards retro rather than new ones. So to have the option of speed running is a bit refreshing.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely looking forward
as
to
long
it.
as as long as there's no no glitch runs,
It's
no glitch
inevitable. Someone will come up with ways to break it, but
no glitch / any
yeah.
percent runs.
Yeah, so someone will find a way. They always do. It always constantly amazes me what speedrunners can do sometimes. I don't know how they figure that stuff out.
But yeah, like I said, it's not long to go for that one. It comes out on the 18th of July, so that is in about 2-3 weeks, I believe. And I did forget to mention earlier, but Mario and Luigi Brothership does come out on the 7th of November, so not too long to wait for that either. Like, it's already we're starting to see a nice lineup for the rest of the year for Nintendo games. So next one we're going to talk about, and it came to a bit of surprise to myself personally, but that is Nintendo Switch Sports is getting yet another new edition, this time in the form of basketball. So this mode will include features such as local and online 2v2 matches, solo 3-point challenges, and a local 4-player 5-streak battle. So it's definitely nice to see this game getting supported even 2 years after release. Kind of a shame that Animal Crossing New Horizons didn't get supported for that long, but that's another discussion for another time. But
Yeah.
what are everyone's takes on basketball and Nintendo Switch Sports?
Yeah, I don't have this game myself, but one of my colleagues at work does, and we play it at lunch every now and then. It's always quite a fun little time, and it is nice to see another game be like supported for this long.
I don't own the game personally, but I feel that okay, so Wii Sports originally obviously came out for Nintendo Wii. I feel like it shifting its art style away from the traditional Mii's to something more articulate is a bit of a downgrade because it's one of the most iconic features of the original game.
Oh, absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong. Are they called Spocko Pals or something like that? If not, they should call them Spocko Pals. It's got a very Nintendo ring, that name, in my head. But one thing I do like in this one is you can collect the outfits for your avatar thing to wear, which is quite cool. But that is also something that they could have done with the Mii's as well. One thing which I think is kind of weird, does anyone else get sort of a Xbox 360 avatar vibe from
now that you mention it?
Yes.
God,
Which I think is quite
I remember. Wow, I remember when I was little. This is gonna sound really weird, but back when Xbox were doing the avatars, you could get like Digimon outfits, and I always had mine wear the tie outfit.
I remember I had like this wolf outfit. I forget what it was, if it was like a game related thing, but I just love werewolves and wolves and stuff, so it looked really cool.
Yeah.
And I think I've still got it on my avatar on Xbox.
I was about to ask if it was Okami, but I remembered Okami didn't have an Xbox release, did it?
No, it didn't. No, went from PS2 to Wii, and yeah, various other platforms after. Oh, it had a little
That's a
sequel
game
on
I need to play at
DS.
some point.
Yeah.
So we are
That's it.
going on a bit of a tangent there, mostly my
lovely.
fault, so I do
Basketball.
apologise. But yes, basketball, Nintendo Switch Sports. Does anyone have any other thoughts about that?
Yeah, I did play Wii Sports Resort, which had the basketball in it, so
Love
I
Wii
think it's
Sports
carrying
Resort.
on from that. And yeah,
Mm.
it'd be, if it's as fun as that on the Wii, yeah, it'd be great here.
I really hope that whatever the successor to the Nintendo Switch gets a Nintendo Switch Sports sequel called Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, just because I don't know, it's just being able to explore the island, the Woohoo Island, especially in the Pilot Wings-esque mode, was just absolutely lovely. So peaceful, just nice little side bit to do, and you could properly get like a tour around, get some fun facts about the different locations and stuff like that.
Did you ever play the Pilot Wings game on 3DS? Because
Yes.
that was basically that. I love that.
Yes, I loved that one as well. I it came out launch for it, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was one of the launch lineup.
You know,
yeah.
You know what would be like a great remake in the style of Wii Sports to Combat? There needs to be like a full remake of the Street Pass games from 3DS.
Yes.
Oh, I would love
so
that.
much, yes.
Like
Absolutely,
I remember,
yes.
like I didn't have when I was little, I didn't have good Wi-Fi connection because my mum and I lived all the way out in the country. But I remember always being excited whenever I can unlock new games, and particularly my favorite was always the one involving the knights.
Mm.
Oh, yes, I know the one you mean. I can't for the life of me remember it though.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, up next, we are talking Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Personally speaking, I think we're at a stage where we could really do with a brand new Donkey Kong game. But considering this one came out nearly 15 years ago, it is great that even more gamers will be able to play this fantastic game. Not to mention, it will be releasing the same year as Universal's Epic Universe theme park, which will feature its own Donkey Kong Country area. I'm super excited for that. But that discussion, once again, is another one for another day. So, what are everyone's thoughts on Donkey Kong Country Returns HD?
It's sorry, go on.
I was about to say, I don't need it for a third time. I'm going to get it for a third time.
I feel like a remake that needs to come out absolutely has to be Donkey Kong 64, but
Yes.
I don't know. I mean,
As long as we get a remastered version of the rap.
yeah.
Definitely. Like, speaking of the rap, if you're aware of Shine Sparkers, they've done a few albums based on games, mainly Metroid, but they did one based on Super Smash Brothers, and they actually did their own rendition of the rap, which is quite cool. Actually, worth a little listen if you.
I do like Shine Sparkers. I'll have to look that up.
Absolutely. So, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD will be releasing on the 16th of January 2025, so we do have some 2025 titles in the direct as well, which, like, I imagine there's probably people out there on the internet probably looking at the lineup, trying to speculate, okay, so at a certain point we're definitely got to get a Switch 2 announcement or something like that.
Yeah, I do find it a bit jarring how Okay, I know we're not supposed to talk about the new Zelda game until later, but I find it a bit jarring about how they're releasing a special edition Zelda Switch console when the new one is just around the corner.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what they always do, though.
yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
I
it's
guess.
a Switch Lite
it
as well,
feels-
so it's like the cheaper option for the Nintendo Switch. So it does make more sense that they're using the cheaper end rather than the OLED.
It feels a bit late. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So next one. So we've got a few more headliners to discuss. So the next one being Super Mario Party Jamboree. And if anyone knows me well,
Yeah.
I love Mario Parties. Mario Party Superstars was the perfect celebration of the series. It's basically what Mario Party the Top 100 should have been. That I don't talk about that. So I'm absolutely ecstatic to see a brand new entry. How do you all feel about the announcement?
I'm very excited. Superstars is like a staple of our events. We play it pretty much at everyone, so having a new mini games to play is quite exciting.
One thing I did notice, I can't remember what the specific map was called, but it was like the racing themed one. I wanted to ask, how come they didn't use that to how come they didn't take advantage of that to implement like Mario Kart themes in there?
That's actually a cool point, because when I was thinking that, I was thinking, Mario Kart Party.
Yeah, they look like general F1 cars, but if they had callbacks to the original Mario Kart games, that would have given them a bit of free advertising when you think about it.
I'm surprised they didn't include a Mercedes-Benz, to be fair, considering that collaboration.
Happened.
Have you seen the commercials they did for that?
Oh yeah,
They're weird.
They're weird but brilliant. That's what I love about Nintendo. Sometimes they come up with the most balmy advertisements. Like one of my all-time favorites is the Smash Brothers N64 commercial. They get all these mascots from family-friendly games, and what do? They bash the heck out of each other.
I love that.
You want to know my favorite? I'm not sure if it was Mario Kart specifically, but there's this trailer I once saw where it was like an old couple playing on this little cruise ship. They were playing Mario Kart for DS, and I can't tell which of the old couple lost, but they tied the other one up and just threw them overboard.
I remember that advert. I also remember the one which I think it was the DS one as well. So it was people from around the world playing Mario Kart, and then I think it was in France. This guy was on a public restroom, and then all of a sudden the toilet just bursts out, and he's like driving on the road using a DS, and the toilet is just like.
What?
Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall during these marketing discussions, honestly. But back to Super Mario Party Jamboree quickly. So so actually two things. So one thing, I am happy that they're bringing back a couple old maps as well, like Mario's Rainbow Castle was a fantastic map, so I'm very interested to see how that's been remade. Kind of a shame that we didn't get these as DLC for Mario Party Superstars, but if we're getting a fully blown new Mario Party game, then I'm kind of okay with that. But the main point that I wanted to bring up is the... Oh, what's the mode called? It's going to bug me. Is it Koopathon?
Is it marathon mode?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is essentially looks like Battle Royale, but for Mario Party. It looks like a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. What about everyone else?
Yeah,
it could be quite chaotic.
Yeah, I can imagine that's going to be really useful towards future Nintendo events. Nintendo player events anyway, for a large crowd.
Oh, I was definitely thinking that. Like, I wonder if we could get like a tournament going for it. That'd be quite funny, like a little mini tournament.
But it's going to end in tears, but yeah.
Absolutely. So this is another one that releases quite soon. It will be releasing on the 17th of October. I do notice Mario Party games do like releasing around October recently, so that is good to know.
Yep. Just on a personal note, it's just before my birthday, so guess what we're going to do this year?
Woo!
Perfectly timed.
Yep. Yep.
Andrew Party.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so the next game, another surprise actually, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. We're finally getting a Zelda game where you can actually play as Zelda, and I'm not including the Hyrule Warriors games or the CDI games. Sorry guys, sorry fans of those ones. What was that, sorry?
What about Spirit Tracks? I'm just saying,
it's a bit of a debatable one. Admittedly, I've not played it for ages. I actually really enjoyed Spirit Tracks, but once again, going back to topic, I love how Zelda games haven't been shying away from creating new and unconventional gaming leaps. So, for example, for one, Zelda is the main playable character, and two, it looks like she won't be fighting in a conventional manner, but using her tri-rod to create echoes of various objects scattered across Hyrule. So it looks really cool, but what does everyone else think?
I'm so excited.
What I like about the trailer was the fake out that you could play as Link. Well, I mean, obviously, judging by the trailer, you could play as Link at the start of the game, but I like how the trailer basically tried to trick people into thinking that it was just going to be another Zelda game where you play as Link, and then all of a sudden he falls into this portal that looks like it's out of Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Link will be one of the echoes you can summon if he does have like a moveset in game.
That'd be cool.
That'll be
Adding to that, I wonder if Ganon will be an echo that you can learn.
Oh, please.
That'll be
it's a bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch, but I'm honestly hoping that Zelda uses the Master Sword in this.
It could happen. Most of all, like what I like about the trailer, or about the game itself, is using the art style of Link's Awakening, and I love that. I'm hoping
it looks really pretty. I know there's been people saying that, it looks childish, but you know what? Like, I really like it. It's got this sort of charm to that art style.
It's got a lot of charm, and the water especially, I think, looks really nice.
I mean, what Nintendo game on the Switch has water that looks trash? Like, they've always had really good, refreshing looking water. Like, I see the water in a Switch game, and it just makes me want to drink water.
To say that it looks like a childish game is a bit of a moot point, because most Nintendo games are family oriented, so of course it's going to be somewhat childish. But it's, I mean, when it comes to top-down when it comes to top-down Zelda games, they're sort of expected to be, because you can't really make a realistic Zelda game looking like that. Like, you can hardly imagine sort of like Twilight Princess being in that sort of gameplay style.
Yeah, I think that would just look off if they tried to do something like that.
Speaking of art style, I kind of would be interested to see what a new game in the Wind Waker art style would look like, because other than Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, it's like we've not really seen much of that. But I suppose with Zelda, it's like they keep with an art style for a generation, then move on to another one, sort of thing. But I still think it'd be an interesting one to go back to, or just give us Wind Waker HD on the Switch or the Switch 2, Nintendo, please.
I was just about to suggest that. Like, it did come out on the Wii U, so they have the assets in HD. Please make a game of it.
The only problem is the Switch, I assume it uses a different sort of trying to think of the word. Can't think of the word. Someone
Engine?
jump in. Engine's the word that I was looking for. So it'd be interesting. But yes, so Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom comes out on the 26th of September. I will point out, I'm very surprised we've not heard any murmurings about this game at all, because when it comes to a Zelda game, like, you will typically maybe hear a couple rumours or speculation, but this one just came out from nowhere, at least from my perspective. Don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, it definitely
I
caught
think-
me by surprise. Like, I assumed if we were going to get something in this art style, it would be another remake, like the Oracle games or something.
That's what I was thinking at first. I was thinking, oh, could this be a Link to the Past remake in the style of Link's Awakening? But I was happily surprised to see that, oh no, this is a brand new game.
Yeah, because I love the 2D Zelda games. I think I like them more than the 3D ones. And it's been 11 years since the last new one, so I'm very excited to get another one.
Absolutely. So, before we digress further, this is actually the final headliner we'll be talking about during this discussion, and it's probably the title which I'm most excited about.
You
And
don't
I'm,
say,
of
Leon.
course, talking about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Now, to think this was originally announced over 7 years ago with just a logo, and then later we learned that, unfortunately, they had to completely restart the development. Well, it's a relief that we finally get to see how the game is shaping up with this amazing looking gameplay trailer. How does everyone else feel about that announcement?
I'm just gonna be completely honest. I have no idea what Metroid is. All I saw was the game called Heroes Duty. That's a funny Wreck-It Ralph joke. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Oh,
It's too hot for me to do meta jokes.
I'm just glad that someone else has confirmed that they've seen it, and I didn't just hallucinate that reveal.
yes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It does look amazing.
Yeah, and basically, I didn't get to watch the direct as it was being broadcast because I was at work. But yeah, pretty much my phone was like buzzing, just like, oh, Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 4. So it's happening, and yeah, I'm all for it.
It was only a month ago. Sorry.
I was just saying, I remember as soon as I realised what it was, I gasped so hard that I started coughing and I couldn't breathe for a moment.
Oh.
I just can't get over how good it looks. Like, graphically.
It was only a month ago. Sorry, it was only a month ago that I started the Metroid series, actually.
Oh yeah, just out of curiosity, which game did you play then?
I was going to a musical in London, and I didn't really have that much to do while I was in the hostel, so I just decided to play the original Metroid for NES on my Switch, and I got really into it.
Oh, nice. Nice. I'm assuming you will be looking into other Metroid games down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very order of release type person,
Okay.
so I probably won't play Prime 4 until I've beaten all the other ones, which might be a stretch, but here's open.
That's fair. Like, for the majority of Metroid games, like, if you are worried about story, like, you don't, or at least in my eyes, you don't really need to play previous one to completely understand what you're doing there. It does usually have a little recap of what's happened at the beginning. But obviously, if you want to play them in the order that they've been released, then that's absolutely fine as well. Definitely interested to see what you think of games like Super Metroid Metroid Dread. Sorry, and well, Metroid was dead for a while, but we've got them back.
I
So
can imagine that a lot of people were feeling Metroid dead by the time it was 2 years.
Absolutely,
without
like
Metroid.
even before we heard about Metroid Prime 4, like it felt like it was a series that had sort of been put on the back burner. But then we had Metroid Dread come out. We had Samus Returns. We've got Prime 4 coming out. It's looking like a really good future for the Metroid series, and I'm just really looking forward to it. But yes, so that is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which we didn't get a specific date, but they have said 2025. I hope that we can hold them to that release year, but if they do need a bit more time, then I do understand as well. I'm too understanding.
At this point, we've been waiting so long. What, like another couple of years?
Yeah. As a Metroid fan, I'm used to waiting. I am the one who waits, like not Sutek.
As a Mass Effect 4 and Final Fantasy VII Remake fan, I am also used to waiting.
Mm-hmm. So yes, that will be coming out hopefully in 2025. So honestly, I forget how packed some of these Nintendo Directs are. I mean, only just scratching the surface with those first-party headliners. But now's the time to tell us, how do you feel about the Nintendo Direct as a whole? Were there any particular announcements you're really excited about, or perhaps some which came as a complete surprise? Yeah. Also, what do you have any general vibes from the communities that you're part of? So let's start with Andrew.
Yeah, Hello Kitty Island. What was it? I can't remember the full title. It is a complete clone of Animal Crossing, but I'm fine. I'm fine with that. One thing I would like to know, if it will happen, it probably won't. The Sanrio amiibo cards, will they be compatible with that game?
That's a good point, actually. So I do admit, like, it did look quite interesting and looks kind of cute, so I might have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, and another thing that's completely... I was just so confused. Well, obviously I'm not confused about it, but it's so strange to see Lego Horizon. Was it Horizon?
Yeah, Lego Horizon Adventures, which...
That's it.
It
actually
weird
had the PlayStation logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So yeah, it was just bizarre seeing it on a Nintendo Direct, but that's who's making it, and they're obviously bringing it to Switch, so it's a good combination. But yeah, just hope it all turns out well.
Definitely. Like, I've only, like, admittedly, I think the only Lego game I've played is the Star Wars Skywalker Saga on PlayStation 5, and yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So it'll be interesting to see how Horizon Adventures pans out. I've played the majority of the first game. I still need to play New Dawn myself. But yeah, really excited. And like you said, it's a complete surprise seeing the PlayStation logo on a Nintendo Direct. I mean, have we had the Xbox logo yet?
We haven't.
Did we close some of the Rare stuff?
Yeah, Rare is on there, especially with the Perfect Dark being added to Nintendo Switch Online. But yes, another thing that I was really surprised about, Stray. Because I do love that game, although it started off really badly for me because I like cats a lot, but I don't like seeing them harmed. And for those who've actually played it, it's.
I myself am the mother of 2 babies, so to see a cat potentially getting harmed is extremely distressing.
Yes. But it all works out in the end, so don't worry, kids. They're fine.
Yay.
But yeah, overall, it was a really good direct, and there was a little something for everyone, which doesn't normally happen with directs. That's what's made it this time.
And what about from Nintendo Southend? Did you get like a general vibe from any of the members there?
Yeah, a few people were pretty hyped for the Dragon Quest 2D HD remakes. So yes, that's going to be a day one download or purchase for some.
I'm looking forward to trying Dragon Quest with those. My friend has been pestering me for ages to get into it.
Yeah, just trying to think what else was there, but yeah, everyone was in agreement that no matter what kind of series that you're into, there was a little something for everyone.
Right, next up, Ben. So same questions as before.
Yeah, I thought it was a very, very solid direct. There was a lot more there than I was expecting there to be, considering how late we are in the Switch's life, and a lot of the big announcements as well are things I'm very, very personally excited for, like Mario and Luigi, Zelda, Metroid, things I wanted to hear about for a long time. Yeah, Nintendo Derby seems to be in pretty agreement with pretty much everything. Everyone's hyped for various headliners, various smaller games. One smaller announcement I'm quite excited about was the Four Swords and Zero Mission coming to GBA Online. So I've been wanting Zero Mission for ages, just because I think it's one of the best remakes ever done. They took a fun but dated game and made something incredible out of it. And then Four Swords, I've been wanting to free that from my 3DS for a long time, and yeah, being able to play it with everyone on the Switch is going to be a lot of fun.
I will interject here just briefly, just on the subject of Zero Mission. Can we just appreciate that we can play nearly every Metroid game on Switch now? So like the only ones from the top of my head that I know are missing is Prime 2, 3, Hunters, Other M, and Federation Force, I think.
And Samus Returns as well.
Oh yeah, that one as well. Although you can... Is Metroid 2 on NSO?
Yes, it's on NSO.
Yes. So one form or another, a lot of Metroid games are on Switch, and I recommend to any of our viewers, do give them a try. There's a lot of good games there. But yeah, sorry to interject there. Carry on.
Yeah, that's all right. And yeah, another small announcement that I almost deafened my friend that I was watching with was Denpa Men. So I had those games on the 3DS. They're weird little games, but they have a lot of charm. And I honestly thought there'd never be another one. I assumed it would just die with the 3DS. So yeah, that caught me by a lot of surprise. I know it's not exactly the most hype announcement out there, but for me that one was, yeah, just a nice little surprise, really.
I don't know why, it kind of reminds me a bit of Miitopia, almost.
Yeah, I guess kind of a little bit. It's, I guess, kind of a very similar vibe, like weird little guys in costumes going on an RPG adventure.
Fantastic. And next up, Rain. So go ahead, same questions as before.
Hello. So there's two things that weren't part of the main list that I'm really excited for. Well, the former I'm not that excited for because I haven't really given it that much thought. I like the look of Pop Fusion. Because normally I don't like pop vinyls because the whole point of pop vinyls to begin with is that they're collectibles. Rather than it's a bit hard to explain. Pop vinyls are solely made to be collected without being independent, if that makes sense. They're not like they're not like premium figures where you could just get one and be happy with it. A lot of people tend to get addicted with collecting pop vinyls by collecting the whole set. But with this one, I quite like the look of it because it reminds me a lot of Lego Dimensions, if anyone had that back in the day.
I wanted it, but I couldn't afford it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the one thing that got me hooked onto the idea of the game was when I saw Mark Grayson from Invincible right before they showed off the trailer.
Oh, I love Invincible. Such
Yeah,
a good
I
show.
love it as well. Like I just saw him in the corner and thought, okay, now I'm excited. Um, uh, the biggest game I'm excited for really is um the Dragon Quest trilogy getting a 2D HD remake.
Hmm.
Um, someone who played the first my first JRPG, not counting Pokemon, when I was little, was actually Dragon Quest IX for the Nintendo DS when it came out. And ever since then, I've been really hooked onto it. So to see the originals get this much love again is appreciated. When I played the Nintendo Switch re-releases back around 2 years ago, I didn't really enjoy them because I didn't feel like there was a much improvement. Um, but I feel like with this they can hook a lot more people onto the series again. Sorry, I know it feels. I know it sounds like a muffling. Just I
Right.
guess I guess as far as remakes go, it feels like it has a lot more effort put into it compared to some that I've seen.
It does. I was going to say it does look very beautiful. The art in the game and even the poster as well. It just looks absolutely stunning. Admittedly, I've not actually played many Dragon Quest games. I think I've only played 2 of the remakes on 3DS, and I really enjoyed those.
The game that made me really get into the series again after 9 was Dragon Quest 11. I 100%ed it about twice, and it was an enjoyable experience from beginning to end.
It's a
Nice.
series I've been meaning to get into for ages. I'm a massive fan of RPGs, yet somehow never played a Dragon Quest. So it's right up my alley,
Yeah.
and I love the HD 2D art style as well. The more games we get that look like that, the better.
Hopefully, hopefully one day they will bring out a Dragon Quest 9 remake that I can enjoy. Speaking of, I wanted to ask this while we were talking about the old Nintendo trailers. I'm not sure if anyone here might be like young enough to remember it, but does anyone remember the old Jedward trailers that they did for Dragon Quest 9 back in the day?
Oh my god,
I
yes.
think so. That's a blast from the past.
Yeah.
It's like Nintendo had some interesting decisions back in the DS era for
If
marketing.
it weren't for
Yeah.
Jedward, I might have tried the game sooner.
Yeah, the only thing I can remember from that advert was how one of the twins just randomly equipped bunny ears and went super fast.
Oh, that's brilliant. As for myself, I think we've talked about most of the announcements that I'm really excited for or came to a surprise. One thing I will mention, which we briefly went on to earlier, was the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, the Nintendo 64 Mature app, which I believe a version came out in Japan a couple months ago. So it's nice to see that we're getting the same treatment in a way. And it's also really nice to finally see Perfect Dark getting added. I was actually the day before the Direct, had a hankering to play Perfect Dark. Definitely not due to the gameplay reveal for the reboot from the Xbox Showcase, although that does look pretty interesting. Shame that Grant Kirkhope isn't coming back to compose though, which we'll see how it goes. But the day before the direct aired, I was asking myself, is Perfect Dark on Nintendo Switch Online? Because it seems with the Nintendo Switch Online games, I kind of often fall out of the loop, often forgetting what's coming on and what's still to be announced, and stuff like that. So it's really nice to see Perfect Dark come back. And it does make me wonder for the future of the apps, because at the moment there's only 2 games on it, Perfect Dark and Turok. So hopefully it'll get more games added on. But I was just thinking what other games could get added onto it. I would say GoldenEye, but that's already on the main app, so...
I'd love to see Conker.
Oh, Conker,
Conker's
yes.
Bad Fur Day.
Brilliant game, that one. Very, very crude, but very hilarious at the same time. I love it.
I did have a list of the 18+ games somewhere, but
Resident
Conker's
Evil
definitely
2 came out on the N64,
Yes.
didn't it? Yeah. So that would
yeah.
probably get added, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going back to the Japanese 18+ Nintendo 64 app, that actually does have GoldenEye on that one, whereas we have it as on our normal app over here. So that's an interesting tidbit.
Yeah. Maybe it's just... My only guess is maybe you've just got that whole hype about GoldenEye, international hype, and obviously at the time they didn't release the mature app to outside of Japan, so they thought, you know what, we'll just release GoldenEye on the regular app for everyone else.
I think part of it is Japan's rating system is quite a bit stricter than ours.
That's a good point.
Yes.
But another announcement, which kind of looked really interesting, was what was it called? I literally had it right in front of me, ready. Memories in Orbit. That looks like a really cool Metroidvania game. It kind of has it looks like it has similar aesthetics to the Ori games, which are beautiful games. Another series which I recommend anyone who's into Metroidvanias to try out.
I do love Ori.
But yeah, it looks like a really cool little game. Definitely got my eyes on that one. And yeah, I think we've talked about the rest, really. Oh yeah, Tales from the Shire looks quite a nice little cozy game as well. Like Animal Crossing, but with Hobbit characters.
I
probably a lot more than Animal Crossing.
I don't know if it's going to be good, because the most recent examples I've seen of the Lord of the Rings games have been mixed.
Oh yeah.
Are you saying Gollum isn't a modern masterpiece?
I just don't. I don't think it's in our realm of understanding. It's beyond another level.
I've just remembered something was announced, which was pretty big. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. I'm pretty hyped for that one, because I really played the living daylights out of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and yeah, that's coming to Switch, so I'm pretty happy with that.
This wasn't part of the direct. What are the biggest games I'm personally excited for, because I wasn't expecting it to get a remaster, is The Thing.
To be fair, I never even knew that there was a game that came out based on it. I do really enjoy the film, so it's nice to see there being a game for it.
I love it. I have a poster of it.
Nice. But does anyone have any other last comments to make before we wrap things up?
Don't think so.
Only that I thank you for letting me be on this. It's been nice.
Don't worry about it. It's been an absolute pleasure having you and everyone on. So unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. If anyone wishes to catch up on all the announcements, then be sure to check out Luke Young's impressions from the Nintendo Direct at nintendoplayers.uk. We'll also put a direct link in the description. Many thanks to Andrew, Ben, and Rain for taking the time to join me in our Nintendo Direct discussion. Don't forget, you can find out more about your local Nintendo communities at nintendoplayers.uk/find. Additionally, if you don't have a community local to you, then it might be worth setting up your own. It's a great way to meet local Nintendo fans and develop a community management experience. You can find out more about how you can set up your own community at nintendoplayers.uk. Other than that is it from me. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, ta-ta for now. Bye.
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 Bye.